It is March 31st, friends, and I am fully planted out for spring, and I'm so excited. So we were together just a couple days ago, and I said I had done my planting and I was gonna wait until the beginning of April to finish out my planting with my potatoes and my onions. I didn't wait. It is stunning out. I will say, I just realized I don't have my red onions planted. That's gonna be this weekend, but I got all of my white onions. This is the entire white onion bed. I got my broccoli, which I had to go buy new starts yesterday. I'll talk about that in a second. And kohlrabi planted. There's a bed of cabbage. Back behind the picnic table are 2 beds of cauliflower. And then this whole new straw patch is my potatoes. And then in every single bed, I have thrown carrots. I threw carrots like I was throwing out dollar bills. I just threw them. And where they land, hopefully I have carrots. So that's it. And you know, we already told this, I have my snap peas planted and they are germinating. Both trellises have baby snap peas. So I'm so excited. So we are so early, but we're done. Like I said, I still need to do, turn your back around, that bed. That bed is gonna get the red onions. I have like 10 white onions left and the kale. And then when it comes to summer, I'm gonna do the green bean bush plants there. But almost, minus that one and that one, every raised bed in this garden is planted. That's the earliest we've ever done it, but it's been gorgeous weather, so I'm like, let's do it. And the 10-day forecast looks fantastic, so I'm here for it. I hope I don't regret it. So I had to go buy broccoli starts yesterday, and I'm really bummed about it. This year, I think for the past 2 years now, I have had to buy, oh, my hair, the wind is a little crazy. The brassicas that I started, my broccoli, my cabbage, mainly my broccoli, my cabbage, and my kohlrabi. The past 2 years I've had issues. Last year I started them too late, and they were super small. This year I started them when I always start them. They were still really small. I used a different brand of soil that I won't do again, but I also think it wouldn't hurt to bump up my start window for these until the beginning of January rather than the end of January. So I'm gonna do that next year. But I had a couple kale, or I had a couple cabbage that I did start that I threw in the ground, but I bought them, and I bought the cauliflower because I had extra beds, and then now I'm buying the broccoli. So it's actually broccoli rabe. So what I had started was broccoli rabe.
Editing Caitlin here. I never actually told you why I had to buy broccoli plants. I had to buy broccoli plants because all of my broccolis, while they were less than 2 inches tall, they all started trying to go to seed. For some reason, it all tried to flower. It even tried to flower before I even took it outside. So I'm not sure what happened, but I knew it wasn't going to produce a head once it tried to flower.
I grew broccoli for the freezer. It's a great staple vegetable for me, and so for me, broccoli, even though it grows in the spring, it's what I eat all winter. It's one of those vegetables like I go to as a side dish all winter. So broccoli will go a single stem, and that's your broccoli head that you buy at the store, and then depending on what variety of broccoli you have, it sends off side shoots. Now for me, since you chop up the broccoli anyway, however you use it, you're not really taking a head of broccoli to the dinner table, you're chopping it up. I love the side shoots because the side shoots give so many pieces of broccoli, but you're not getting that big head, but you're getting the different like little small individual broccolis. So I like broccoli rabe for that reason. You get a smaller head, but then you get more of the side shoots. I think the flavor might be a little bit more kind of, the stem at least tastes a little bit more asparagus-y than maybe broccoli does. But I really like the broccoli rabe. It produces well for me. I get a lot from it. It fills the freezer, and then it also gives me, like, it fills the freezer and it gives me a little bit to have for fresh eating. So I had to buy 12 plants, and luckily they're not expensive where I go. They're like $2.99 a 6-pack. So what is it, $6 for 12? And I'll get way more than $6 worth of broccoli, but I had to buy my broccoli. and I bought my cauliflower because I wasn't planning on doing cauliflower, so that kind of sucks. But aside from the last of the onions and the kale, we're done for spring. I am gonna go show you a fun surprise, but I also remember today I need to start my summer vegetables, like my butter squash, my pumpkins, my sunflowers, my nasturtiums. I still have things to start, and I completely forgot about that. So my garden, even though it's so gorgeous outside, I need to take this and take it inside and start some more seeds. I did upplant my tomatoes today. I didn't do that because I didn't want to do it inside, so I did drag everything outside so I could do it in the sun, which was nice, and they did get done, and they needed done. But let me go show you my latest surprise, and then eventually at some point I need to get out of this garden and do the rest of my house chores that I've been putting off because I spent all of my time in this garden. It just is so nice, and I'm ready for garden season again. The garden kitty at work, not quite understanding the point of paths, but hey, what are you gonna do? At this point, I've tried to keep him out of the beds, unsuccessfully, clearly. But as long as he stays out of the onion beds, then I'm okay, because the onions are just like little pieces of grass. I'll take you over, I'm gonna talk about that in a second, but let me show you the newest surprise. Look at our new asparagus bed. We just planted this maybe 2 weeks ago, and look how many asparagus are here. They have just started coming up. So all of this asparagus was up in the patio garden, and it never produced like that. Like, can you see that? Look at all that asparagus. That's one crown. It never produced like that in the patio garden. I knew it wasn't doing well there. And all the asparagus is very thin. I'm gonna take a couple of them, like a couple of the thicker ones, but again, they're still like, I don't think we're pencil thickness yet. But I will take a couple. But moving them into this soil has been obviously just what they needed. I wouldn't have gotten all of that, look at all that. I wouldn't have gotten that in the whole year between all three of them combined. And now all of those crowns are producing like crazy. So moving this into this new bed was just what the doctor ordered. And I'm super, super excited. None of the asparagus I have in my main patch that does really well, none of that is coming up yet. So I'm not quite sure why this is maybe a smidge early. But Easter is in a couple days, and so I'm really hoping I can have a little bit of fresh asparagus from my garden for Easter. I had it last year, but I think Easter was later last year, so fingers crossed that I can at least get a couple of asparagus for my mom and I for Easter. That would be really fun. But yeah, like, it's doing fantastic. And so I saw this the other day from across the garden, and then here's the thing, I squeal. Like, I get so excited, and I like gasp, and I clap my hands, and I do like a whole thing when I'm excited and shocked. And I live with neighbors. There are people around me. So no one really understands what I'm doing. So I bring you guys along because you guys understand. If you're watching me, that means you like to garden and you understand. But let me go, ouch. The garden bed just tried to steal my hair, and so now I think, oh yeah, now my hair just permanently lives in this garden bed now. The one thing about having long hair is wherever you go, you leave so much hair behind. I could never be a criminal. I would leave like so much hair behind. It would take a bad detective, like 5 minutes to identify me based on the amount of hair I left behind. Okay, let's talk onions. Okay, so I planted my onions, and that's all those little green grasses. My lines actually look pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I feel pretty good about the lines, the rows. So typically I do onion starts. When you do onions, you can do onion seed, onion starch, or onion sap. I know one is a first year onion. I know one is a second year onion. I don't really understand it. So I've always bought my onion starch from Dixondale, and I've had success. I think for a pack of 50, I don't know, it's a pack of 75. I think it's like $12.95, and then the more sets you buy, the more groups you buy, the more packs of 75 you buy, the cheaper they are. I don't have a lot of space. My garden's not huge, so I can only do like typically 1, maybe 2 sets of onion starts. So I decided I wanted to try to do it cheaper, because the amount of onions I got last year, I got good onions, but for the price I paid, I don't think I got that many. I don't think I've ever taken the price of the onion versus the amount of onions that I've gotten and been like, oh, you made out in this deal. So I have seen other people have success starting onions from seed. So I didn't do that. I tried to do that. I bought new red onion and white onion seed. My hand is very shaky. One hand is very shaky, but one hand is not. I had my dinner, so it can't be my blood sugar, so I don't really know what's going on. Hoping I'm not having a stroke. Anyway, my red onions germinated beautifully. The white onions did not. I did 2 different containers, and they both maybe gave me like 5. So there's something I think wrong with the white onion seeds, because again, I did 2 separate containers and neither one germinated. So I bought my white onions. So again, a pack of these was, I think I counted, the first pack was about 120 onion greens for $2.99. So I bought 2 of them. So I filled up this entire bed for $6. And so if that gives me an entire, keep moving this hand, and that hand is just shaky for some reason. If that bed gives me all the onions that it should, I think that would be well worth the $6 investment. Plus you also get the onion greens. I love the onion greens. I think they're fantastic. So I'm really hoping that I have success with them. It's my first time doing it, but I've seen other people do it and they've had success. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna have success too. Before we end this, because I just wanted to chit chat with you. I need to go in and like do house chores, but it's too pretty outside. I don't want to do that. The tulip beds are starting to bloom. So these are my favorite things when they bloom. So I have a couple there. These guys are just starting. You can see the color. I have some hyacinths back there starting. And then here, these guys just opened today. So last year, I learned that red tulips are susceptible to frost. So my tulips bloomed and we ended up getting like a late frost. And I don't know if it was a full frost or just like freezing temperatures. All the other tulips rallied. The red tulips lost all of their petals. So if you are in an area where your tulips are blooming and it's gonna get freezing cold, go cut the red ones. They will not survive. Everyone else will, but they will not. But everything else is blooming. I have a ton of daffodils. My tulips are just starting to open up. My peach tree is just starting to open up, and I am so, oh my God. Spring is here, and I know I say this in every single video, but I'm so excited. And I will say, typically I have so much anxiety going into spring. Like there's so much to do, and I don't know what is different about this year, other than I am just busting butt. Today I got my roses pruned. Last year I didn't prune my roses until like Memorial Day. This year it's March 31st and they're pruned. I have like a lot of my cleanup done. I just have so much done already. The garden's in. I have very little garden plants that I need to do yet. We need to do the first mow. We do need to start doing some cleanup of the winter stuff, but I know there's still bugs sleeping. There's bees that are loving the weeds right now. So I'm trying to leave some of that stuff for a little bit. Like in the garden, back by the cow, there's a huge red dead nettle patch. And that is a beneficial weed for me too. Like I don't hate it because I can eat it and it gives me good vitamins and nutrients. I don't typically eat it, but I could. But it's swarming with bees right now because the dandelions aren't really open yet. I do my daffodils and the tulips are starting, but there's not a ton of options for the bees. So I'm trying to leave some of this stuff go because I want to make sure the bees have their pollen. So yeah. So, but all of that to say, we are well on our way, friends. We are well on our way to a really productive, now something just flew in my eye. But we are well on our way to a very productive spring. I'm so excited. I keep having to like calm myself down. Like I want to plant the tomatoes and plant the sunflowers and plant all the stuff all the summer stuff. It's not even April yet. April's tomorrow. But for March 31st, by golly, we have gotten a lot done. And I am proud. So, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you guys for letting me show you my garden, because no one else in my life really likes my garden, but you guys do. So I appreciate that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, friends.